Hey guys, Toasty Ghosty here. Today I'm finally showing off two of my Team RWBY Vacuo looks. I was going to have all four girls in one video, and I believe at this point I can do that. I just felt like two designs would be fine. Like RWBY and Weiss are a duo, and then Blake and Yang are a duo, and like people like to see those two pairs together, right? So yes, these looks will be in two parts. So remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell. It lets YouTube and me know that you would like more of this content. So we are starting with Ruby Rose. I did make another RWBY design for Vacuo, but I'm no longer proud of that design. And even during the making of that video, I doubted the look and had already made plans to redesign my design, so needless to say I was pretty unhappy with it. And that leads to my first new pass actually. Despite me not liking the look in the end, I did spend quite a bit of work on it, and I was feeling pretty uninspired after it fell flat. So here I have this really ugly concept art. For quite a time I was pushing this idea of pulling from cultures that live near or around the equator, especially India and possibly China. I was pushing this idea that Vacuo was a place with a many cultural blend, and I was trying to make that work with everyone's look. Like, this is where I had started with all their designs. So to eventually kind of go for more of a futuristic desert survivor look was a huge change from my initial idea. No matter what I did, I was secretly not happy with the cultural blend looks because subconsciously I wanted to do these futuristic desert survivor looks, but for some reason I told myself I wasn't allowed to. I was married to the cultural blend idea, and I have no idea why. I guess I think that traditional India fashion is very pretty, and I wanted to express how pretty I think it is. But yes, the more I redesigned the girls, the more I was gravitating towards futuristic desert survivor, so that was a shift that took a long time for me to come to terms with. Anyway, starting with this first pass for RWBY, I was still clinging to the idea of incorporating the cultural blend idea, and I was trying this hyper fabric, hyper frilly look, and I do not know the culture that this type of dress belongs to. Feel free to comment if you know. I thought RWBY in this hyper frilly many fabrics look would be so cute because RWBY is known to wear frilly dresses, so I guess I thought it would be a perfect match, but simultaneously I wasn't applying myself because I was so down about how badly my last look had gone. So I think I needed a break, and I think I did. It's been a year. So what I learned from this is that I should not be married to an idea that isn't working, and to listen to my intuition, because as soon as I went for more of a futuristic look, I became much more happy with the designs. So after that, I found a piece on Pinterest that changed everything for me. I found this beautiful, like, it's a red sash, almost like a red toga, that is being held up by a piece of jewelry, and they are sewn together onto this black, elegant dress. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, yes! My RWBY prayers have been answered. I finally have a clear direction that I want to go. So I got that down and tried to give RWBY these sheer pants, but I didn't know what to do with her hip or pants area, so I tried a skirt, but that really wasn't going anywhere, and I was struggling at this point to know what to do with her lower half. I really wanted to make this pants situation work with these patterns on them. I'm sure you've seen this kind of textile around. I wouldn't know how to describe it, but yes, I was thinking this type of textile in this kind of poofy pants situation. However, I did feel this type of poofy pants would be better suited for Yang, actually. Not that I feel it looks terrible for RWBY though. I think these pants are really cute, honestly. Then I found this dress on Pinterest, and to be frank, I think RWBY would look fantastic in this. I cannot wholesale steal a design I see, however, hence my attempt to make something like it, but I felt empty in that I didn't come up with this and decided to go a whole other direction. But if I'm being honest, RWBY would look fantastic in the Vacuo setting. The way that it is breezy and still has some armor would look amazing on her. But again, I cannot wholesale rip off something. I would just feel so bad about it. If you feel like you want to take this dress and try to change it enough so that you don't copy it and make a new outfit for RWBY, go for it. It just made me feel dead inside. So yeah, back to square one. I was inspired by another Pinterest post. I cannot remember what it was though. But basically there was this dress with a sheer layer on top. I experimented with different shoes and different sleeves because I felt it wasn't quite there yet with what vibe I wanted. And then I changed everything and landed on the toga actually transitioning into a red dress instead of stopping at the toga, you know? What if the toga expanded into the dress instead of just stopping at the upper chest? So all that stuff I did with the sheer was basically a waste of time. However, it's not all for naught because during this process, I learned that it would be cool if RWBY had silver combat sandals, and I love this choice. Making the silver in RWBY's design more prominent, I think is a good thing, especially if it is not too much silver and just the right balance. So yeah, this is the RWBY design I landed on. And I do want to say, as a suggestion for RWBY, is to keep her simple. If you think about it, RWBY's OG look is simple. Her outfit was smartly and strategically divided between red, silver, and black, and I think minimum details and this balance of red, silver, and black are the key to making an excellent RWBY design. Which isn't to say that RWBY can never wear white or ever have a new accent color. I just feel that it is a very nostalgic color palette for her and very true to her first design. Got that out of the way. And when it came to rendering her, I really struggled with a pose as usual. I have no idea why poses give me so much fucking trouble. Maybe I can look into it. I wanted her to be in action, but anytime I put her in movement, you could not appreciate the silver jewelry connecting the dress and the cape. So I landed on keeping her ready to fight in a stationary pose. I think what happened was I had drawn the correct pose, actually, but probably was worried it wasn't enough of an interesting pose. I went through other poses, but they were not cutting it. The poses just gradually deteriorated and got worse and worse, so I just went back to the original and started my line art. After which the design started to go smoothly. For these designs, I decided to make their weapons very prominent because I didn't want the viewer to mistake the girls for anyone other than Team RWBY. So I spent a lot of time getting them to be visible and their detailed selves. I found a way to make Crescent Rose convincingly 3D, and I'm super happy with how RWBY's weapon turned out. I am a bit worried that the time sink into her weapon may have affected the time that I would then spend on RWBY's actual outfit, and I'm mega worried that the look concept art is cuter than the renders. Good chance I will add those details in post. But this was the most difficult RWBY. Finding the vibe was tough, the weapon took time, although I can't lie, I loved working on it because it went so well. But then after doing the details of her weapon, it may have hurt my willingness to put in all of RWBY's design details. So overall, very tough rendition of RWBY. I just want to mention that for Vacuo, I wanted to give the girls especially cool outfits, because in theory this would be their last volume, and I wanted them to not necessarily look like final bosses, but I did want them to look battle ready and less cute, with the exception of Weiss. I wanted them to look battle ready and as cool as possible. Basically, my standards for their outfits were higher than usual. You know, a last look for a character leaves quite an impression, and you don't want that look to be underwhelming. It would hurt the epicosity of the character if their last look was weak and lame. Feel me? So these designs probably took so long because my standards were higher than usual. Oh, and if you are wondering why she is so covered up, it is because I feel that these four main protagonists are really pale, and their skins cannot handle the intensity of the sun in a desert region. I challenged myself to give them cool as well as sun protecting gear, and I feel like this adds to the desert survivor idea, and if they were to be 3D models, they would look so awesome! Foremost, but also equipped to deal with the sun, and I think that is so visually satisfying. And you can really tell I went the extra mile. And with that, we have RWBY Rose for Vacuo, desert area of the story. For RWBY specifically, I feel like she does look too warm, actually. The other three do not suffer for this for the most part, but I will say the red sheer on this look would feel like nothing against RWBY's skin. However, she is still warm in the leg area, which I'm not thrilled about. I gave her tights many slits to breathe, but yeah, if you feel that this look is too warm, that is okay. Now let's move on to Weiss. So fortunately, I had a solid idea for Weiss the entire way through, and you'll find she is the only one who I had a firm idea of. For Weiss here, it was just a matter of getting her details right. From the get, I had thought about these gigantic sun hats that wealthy women are portrayed as wearing, and I think it's so cool that her sun hat here doubles as a mage's hat as well, minus the pointy top, I guess. Bringing in that futuristic fairy tale idea of mixing classic RPG tropes and modern day clothes, which I absolutely love, and I am sorely missing from the recent RWBY volumes, to be honest. Here is our first sketch that was along with the others. You'll see everyone changed pretty dramatically as we go along here. So yep, Sunday hat and Sunday dress, honestly. I guess I was considering breathable holy tights, but I probably changed that so she wouldn't get burned and leave teeny red sunburn marks all along her legs. Something I considered is that the front leg of a person would absolutely be exposed to the sun the most. I thought about this for everyone, and that's why all her front legs will be covered up. And one last thing is that I was considering minor red accents on Weiss, as you might imagine, but you'll see I will make a more substantial red accent in the end, which I think was a giga brain move on my part. On a second pass, I had considered this bowed hat idea, and I included it in the video because I did think it was cute on her, and if you would like to try and make this work, you can absolutely do so. And if you do, send it my way on Bluesky, which is where I hang out. I would love to have fan art and have fan art dedicated videos. So please, please send your art. It can be a doodle on a napkin. You can have started drawing literally yesterday. I want your art, and I want to make Fanart Friday videos where I can feature your art in my videos. No joke, this is the reason I started my channel, and I want to engage with you guys in this way if you are interested in artsy, I guess. Okay, so next pass was close to what I ended up with, though I felt it was a little on the bland side and maybe a little too white and gray, and it just needed something. But with this you can see that the clothes that Weiss actually feels against her skin are very minimum. Weiss only feels this white crop top and short shorts against her skin, and all the other bits, with maybe the exception of the sun hat and the thigh-high stockings, she doesn't feel. And I love how breezy feeling this outfit has turned out. Then I did a pass on all 4 girls. Don't worry, Blank and Yang's looks change here, so they're not the final designs for those 2 whatsoever. And here I had the small amounts of red in the form of jewelry on Weiss' head. Then I had the giga-brain idea to make the inside of Weiss's hat red. The underside of Weiss is mirroring her volume 1 pop of red in her popped collar. And now her outfit feels more complete and not too white. And I made the bow holding her hair back black to mimic the teeny amounts of black on Weiss's volume 1 look as well. And I gotta say, Weiss is looking so f***ing accurate, I feel, to her character. This really looks like her volume 1 outfit, but adapted for a Vacuo volume. Like her volume 1 design transformed to suit this new environment, and I'm very proud of it. She also just feels so icy in the Schnee glyph print transparent sheer dress. And the fade to blue is not too much and doesn't take away from her white color coating. I'm very happy with my Weiss. And I just want to say, when night falls, the Grimm of this region are weak to the ice cold of the night, so they hide at night. And so does the Vacuans, and therefore so does Team RWBY, so everyone gets to rest and recover for another hot and brutal day in the sunlight. That is why their outfits are pretty sun-centric. Also, in a rewrite, I would never have had Atlas fall. Atlantis reference be damned, I would actually have Ironwood be successful, and he would have Atlas make it to Vacuo, which would leave Team RWBY to save the people of Mantle, which I think is very much up their alley, and would be much more satisfying for our Nora arc, because I always remember how much she advocated for the people of Mantle, enough to shout at Ironwood about it in his f***ing face. Also, having Ironwood succeed would make him kind of a badass and a huge threat. Also, the people of Mantle would still find that loophole with Ambrosius via Team RWBY. I think Ironwood succeeding in his plan to abandon Mantle would be super compelling, but I may need to talk about my rewrites another day. So yeah, the Schnee family would still have all its members, and Weiss would still receive a ready-made Schnee branded huntsman attire. I'm not going to call it armor because it isn't, at the beginning of the volume. And I will say about Weiss's rendering process is that I actually have more footage of another drawing that was the first attempt, and it was so ugly that I had to start over. I suppose I can put this here. Fortunately, because of this first pass though, I was able to recycle her Martinaster, and so I didn't need to draw it twice, and that is nice. In conclusion, I'm very happy with how Weiss turned out. I'm so happy I decided to try again with a fresh start and gave her a significantly better pose. I feel like RWBY and Weiss are such an adorable duo here. Their dresses kind of mimicking each other though, and I love a red, black, and blue-white duo. I love that shit. I went back and put some of the details of RWBY's concept art and applied them to the final piece because I was pretty unhappy with it, but now that I have fixed RWBY's face and put some real time into her details, I am now finally satisfied with my RWBY, which means I am happy with both of them. Oh, they are just so cute! Please leave a comment below on your thoughts, criticisms, and all. And lastly, I just wanted to say that I would probably normally make these Vacuo videos a whole to-do with all the editing and the memes and such, but I gotta be honest, these Vacuo looks have been weighing on me, and I just feel like I need to get them done. There are so many other projects I want to do, so I just cannot spend too much time on these. However, do not feel that I do not like them or I do not care. I am actually ecstatic with how they turned out, and I cannot wait for all 4 girls to be out and you guys can enjoy them. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and more RWBY for sure, because I want to get their Vacuo looks out there desperately. I'm going to try and get more videos out. They're faster, so don't panic. They will come, and the new has-been designs are on the list of get them out as well. I just have so many interests. It's really stressful. Next vid may be evolutions with Avery Draws and or Husk and Angel Dust. In some order like that. I want to get them out. So we'll see how this month and the next shake out. Thank you so much for watching. Smell you later.